fire my boss unethically, enjoy paying for my unemployment benefits. This took place more than a decade ago. I started working for a small branch of a company and got along really well with my boss, the branch manager, and used to compare him to Michael Scott. Not to his face. I would have been Jim Halpert in this scenario. After working there for a while, my boss was approached with an awesome offer to go manage a bigger branch a few hours away. This was because the owner wanted to place his son as the branch manager of a small location, and needed to vacate a position to do so. My boss graciously turned down the offer. His kids had just started at their new schools and he didn't want to uproot them again. He'd relocated to take the current position. This was not taken well by our corporate office, but they couldn't fire him for it, not directly. A few weeks later I saw our office manager, a lady nobody in the office liked, in my boss's office filing paperwork, or so it seemed, which was odd but not alarming. The next week my boss was going to be on vacation, and all the office staff had to attend a meeting for non-salaried employees at the corporate headquarters. While we were at the corporate thing, our office manager handed out new office keys to all of us three that were there. My boss was on vacation and salaried. I asked, "Why are we getting new keys?" And she said it was because someone lost theirs. None of us had lost our keys. We were all sitting together and could easily confirm this. So I texted my boss to ask him and he had no clue what she was up. I got a bad feeling about what was happening. I called him after the meeting and told him to come by my house Sunday when he got back from out of town. I explained that I was 95% certain they were planning to fire him Monday. I didn't know what reason. I just had a gut feeling. I said it was too bad because if he was fired I wouldn't want to work there anymore, knowing that they would do shady stuff like that. He, jokingly, said that he should fire me first, so I could go on unemployment. I laughed and told him that he should write me a termination notice. And then if he doesn't get fired on Monday, it would be just between us. But if he does get fired, I could take it to the unemployment office and have proof that I was fired for something that would make me eligible for benefits. So he did, and he was fired Monday for misfiling paperwork of some sort, and I definitely did not go back to work. They tried calling me in, and I told them that my boss had fired me already. I took the proof with me to the unemployment office and was good to go. Until they, former employer, disputed my claim. I had a hearing, on the phone, with the unemployment office and my corporate HR person. HR. He wasn't fired. The paperwork he submitted with his claim isn't the right paperwork. It should have come from HR, not his manager. Unemployment. Why did the manager not to do that then? Where is he? Quote, HR. He no longer works for the company. Unemployment. Why did he leave? Quote, HR. He was fired. Unemployment. Why was he fired? Quote, getting exasperated. HR. Mumbles for doing paperwork incorrectly. Unemployment. Well, that is hardly the fault of the terminated employee. How is he to know that the paperwork is invalid that is coming from their supervisor? Quote, they told my HR that they could rehire me or not. But my claim was valid. They couldn't rehire me because they had already filled the position. So I got to collect unemployment for a while before moving on to my next job. My former boss is doing well now, it seems, and I don't feel bad at all. For the record, it is very likely that they would have invented a way of firing me after they got rid of my boss. Had they done that, they would have made certain that my termination was such that I wouldn't be eligible for unemployment. I took that power away from them by getting fired preemptively. I am also positive that when I saw the office manager in his office while he was away, she was arranging the setup for him to be fired. Every Dwight believes he's a Jim. Damn. Do you know if your boss had to relocate again? For the sake of his kids, I hope not. Fuck office politics. People are assholes who can't see past their own pathetic, conceited, self-absorbed selves. Like, what TF is so damned important that you have to fire someone in such a manner? Fucking nothing. Nothing is that important, and 99% of life is trite and trivial and not worth a damn. Wish more people could see that. But no. They gotta feel important and good about themselves expressionless. It's smart to get out when you see things start coming down the pipe. I worked for a large corporation that was bought out by a larger one who wants everyone to think they have the best when it came to buy. Anyway, after firing both our VPs without notice, they moved on to start shutting down all of the stores. But since our state had some pretty worker-friendly termination laws, one by one the store managers in my district, some who had been in their stores for more than a decade, started being arrested for theft. They would be handcuffed and escorted through the mall and ended up sitting in jail for a couple days before they were released, with no formal charges being filed by the new company since. Well, they hadn't stolen anything. It was just a way to get around our state's termination laws and not have to pay unemployment or severance. After half the district went to jail, everyone else bailed, and sure enough all those stores closed soon thereafter. I kept in contact for a while with a few who got arrested, and they had a heck of a time finding a new job since everything is online, and when they would submit their resume it would ding that they were terminated for theft. Nepotism at its finest. Frequent shady behavior like that is a great way to sink a company. If they fire you, I pre-quit. You can't pre-quit. I'll pre-fire you. Quote. If they fire you, I've already fallen in love with you. I pre-quit. Don't make me pre-fire you. Quote. You wouldn't dare. Quote. Watch this. You're pre-fired, and when I'm fired you'll be full fired. Quote. Now you might say that is premature, but I always say it's best to be pre-prepared. The same happened to me this past year, lol. My favorite boss in the entire world was fired very unethically and abruptly for something that wasn't even his fault. I was accumulating a lot of emotional stress from being harassed by one of their employees and taking the fall for my coworkers' mistakes. So I asked for a 2-week leave and then quit the day I came back. It was horrible. I loved that job so much. The sad thing is, my boss had a feeling he was going to be fired. I told him, in front of his boss and everyone else, that if he was fired, I would quit immediately. Cue the shocked Pikachu face when I actually quit the way I said I would. So if they admitted that the old boss was fired in the HR meeting, I wonder if the termination for cause filing paperwork could have been overturned and the old boss could have gotten unemployment. I would have been Jim Halpert in this scenario, yeah? You wish, buddy. I would have put the new boss's stapler, or equivalent, in Jell-O and stick it in a drawer before leaving, or prawns in the executive chair's tubing. Man, TV taught me a lot. When karma runs over your dogma. Good story. Thanks for sharing. Can someone explain how it works in the US? What kinds of things make you eligible for unemployment or not after being fired? Such a Toby thing to do. As someone who has not seen The Office, wouldn't comparing someone to Michael Scott be a bad thing? From what I hear, he's kind of a jerk and a dumbass. How was this pro? What was done to the op that he got revenge over? Ensuring that you received unemployment benefits because your friend was fired seems petty. It is very likely that they would have invented a way of firing me after they got rid of my boss. Had they done that, they would have made certain that my termination was such that I wouldn't be eligible for unemployment. Now that ain't a good office, is it? Nice story. I applaud your strategizing. The wonderful thing is that they didn't pay your benefits. Taxes pay that. You might have contributed to them having a higher tax rate, but also that they gave your former boss a cause for civil action against them by telling you why he was fired. Getting fired and going on unemployment isn't pro-revenge. I've never heard of being able to go on unemployment if you were fired.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.